Good afternoon, class. My name is Macklin Payton, and I will be doing my presentation on why gun control is a bad idea. First slide I will talk about is the right to bear arms, or your Second Amendment. So, right to bear arms was written into the Bill of Rights on September 25th of 1789. And basically what it means is you have the right to bear arms, which means firearms or weapons of any kind like that, and you're regulated to have a militia, which in that case, that's going to mean like you and your friends can train safely, tactically, however you want to say it, with firearms. So you're a well-grouped, militia. And what a militia is meant for, in my eyes, is that if your government overreaches, in that sense, if you have a dictatorship or you have a type of government that wants to overstep their hand and take from you, hurt you, abuse you any type of way, that's what your militia's for, is to stop that. So you have a well-trained group of civilians that's not in the armed force or police, anything like that, any type of service to the government. In that case, that's where your militia stands in and provides you safety from your government. Next one I'll be talking about is going to be why some people are pro-gun and it's kind of deceptive. So in that sense, yes, you shouldn't need a bazooka. There's no reason whatsoever to have a bazooka unless the government oversteps again. So if they have tanks or something like that, I'm not saying I support that, but in that case, it should be fair to own them. And you can own them with certain tax stamps and licenses you have, but it's extremely hard to get. But just say a basic firearm, just a 9mm pistol, you do have to jump through hoops to get one. So if you go to a gun store, you buy a pistol, you have to go through a 3-day waiting period, you have to go through 2 background checks, and you have to be above the age of 21 to own a pistol. But a rifle, it's just a 1-day waiting period, like a normal hunting rifle, and you only have to be 18. So there's some gun control laws that does make everybody safer. Like you have to have ID and you have to be a law-abiding citizen to own a firearm in that type of sense, which I think makes everybody safer. But when it comes to the point when you can't purchase firearms whatsoever, you're not allowed to own them, I don't think that's constitutionally right. And I don't agree with any of the gun laws that they're trying to pass now. Firearms in your home do protect you a lot more than some people are willing to realize. So, say there's a string of 3 break-ins. 2 out of those 3 houses in West Virginia will own a firearm. And there's an 80% chance that burglars will not come into your home if you own a firearm and they know that. But you're also a lot safer if they do break in and you own a firearm. And what I mean by that is if you are in any type of self-defense situation to where somebody's trying to hurt you, attack you, rob you, anything like that, and you're carrying a firearm and you brand it, then they're probably going to leave you alone unless they do have a death wish. And in that case, it's their own stupidity that solves that. Another thing is 74% of people in West Virginia own a firearm, fun fact. And about 85% of people in West Virginia own more than one firearm. So if you ever think about breaking in somewhere, just remember about that number, 84%. And everyone has the same opportunity to protect themselves. That's what's nice about firearms. You don't have to be a man, a woman, a teenager, a senior citizen, anything like that. So you can go own a firearm at any age, above 18 to 21, pistols for 21 and 18 for rifles. So that makes it a perfect world today, is because if you have well-trained, safe people carrying firearms, it makes the world a lot safer. And you can take that from my man Jack Wilson down there in Texas. An intruder broke into his church service where he branded his firearm and took the assailant down, which the assailant had shot 2 people as soon as he walked in the church. So he inevitably stop a mass shooting by carrying a firearm and ending the threat right there on the spot, which I think that's awesome, you know? And with gun control, I think there should be different laws set aside. You know, it's not gun control, it's just making sure everybody's up to date and staying safe. Because once you purchase a firearm and you have it in your custody and all that, you don't have to go through any more background checks or anything like that. So I'm thinking that there should be a policy to where every 2 to 3 years, or maybe even a year, that you should have to renew your background check to make sure that you can carry this pistol or weapon of any sorts. And that's limited to certain people. If I feel like if you've went through 5 years or 10 years of owning the same firearm, you should be grandfathered in to where you don't have to go through background checks anymore. So I feel like that's a fair ordeal. And I think the state should also not make you pay for it. Like all these extra taxes that you have to buy for ammunition, all your firearms, you know, in case you have to get them shipped from out of state or anything like that. Like myself, I own an AR-15. I order parts for it, and I have to pay an extra tax just because I'm getting them shipped through states that are not allowed there. So I don't think that's a fair deal to, you know, safe owning gun owners like myself, that they have to pay extra money just to keep themselves and their whole family safe. I don't think that's fair. And I don't think you should be able to own a gun unless you have any type, if you're unemployed. If you're unemployed, there's no reason that you should be able to carry around a firearm constantly. There's no need for it. It just seems like you're up to no good, but it's just kind of like a, I don't know, what would you say the word, probation period. So when you have to carry a gun, you need to have a job, you need to be safe, you don't need to have any felonies, misdemeanors, nothing like that. And yeah, like I was saying, not every gun aspect is bad. Like there's a lot of statistics out there saying, yeah, there's 300,000 deaths per year due to gun violence. But if you really look into it, around 80% of those is caused by suicide. Which I'm not taking it away if they're, you know, wasn't a weapon, but if somebody wanted to harm somebody else, they could find a way. And now only around 11,000 of those deaths out of the 300,000 per year is homicide. Use of deadly force with a firearm. And you will have a few bad apples, but I'd say a good percentage of those, I couldn't give you the amount, would be caused by an illegal firearm, which is not purchased at a gun store or bill of sale written out, you know, registered to that person. And I feel like it's safe to assume that. But in conclusion, gun control laws now, I don't see them as fit. I think if you're a law-abiding citizen, you shouldn't have to go through this many hoops just to be able to purchase a firearm. That's all I have today. Thank you very much.